Hey everybody, it's your pal Kookie McGee, aka Keegan here. I'm back with another video once again. Hope you're all having a great day so far. Anyways, on to the video. It's time for another vlog video and another rant video. So, a lot of you guys enjoyed my first rant video that I did last weekend, and I decided to go ahead and make another rant video. So today's topic I'm going to be ranting about is something pretty simple, and it's internet related, not moderation or anything, but just stuff that genuinely happens every once in a while if you're someone that does live streams or if you run or are a part of a Discord server. Well, you read the title. We're going to be talking about raiders, specifically raiders on streams and on Discord. Now, right off the bat, streaming raiders aren't usually a bad thing. They're usually helpful for boosting up views for potentially any small streamer or anything like that. If you're like on Twitch, YouTube, or Kick, or any platform that involves streaming and such. So, if you get some good type of raiders, that means you can get some views and potentially new followers and stuff. But we're not going to be talking about the good ones. We're obviously going to be talking about the bad raiders. Usually these are just trolls and bots or both. And I've got three stories related to raiders that I'm going to share with you. One of which actually happened very recently, like earlier this week. So I guess we'll start off with, well, actually, before we get into this story, I would like to start off by saying we all know the golden rule about trolls on the internet. Never, under any circumstances, do you ever feed the trolls. Exactly. Do not feed the trolls. We all know that, but of course, there are people out there that just can't help themselves and feed the trolls, and that's just going to give them more trolls to deal with. So, obviously, do not feed into the trolls. So, anyways, I guess we'll start with the first story I have related to raiders, and this one all happened on a Discord server of a friend of mine. So, this happened back in, I believe it was 2024 or maybe 2025. I think it was 2024. I don't know, but it was a while back. So, this all happened when I'm not exactly sure how this all happened. I think the link to this friend of mine's server went to the wrong person or some shit. I'm not exactly sure, but it was a while ago. But anyways, all of a sudden, these random people who neither me or my friends knew randomly started joining the server, started causing chaos in the general channel of the server, started spamming the N word, posting some really messed up gifs of, well, I'm not really going to go into detail of what the gifs are because I don't really want to get this video age restricted. So, me and a few others who were moderators for the server tried kept banning these people and tried to delete all the shit that they were posting onto the general. So, to this day, I'm not exactly sure how this even happened. Like, how did these people get access to the server? But my guess is probably because the link went to the wrong person or something. But thankfully, this never happened again since then. Although that server that I was in has long since been deleted, but that friend of mine made a new server a while ago. So that's that. And now we'll move on to the next two stories that all happened on live streams on my YouTube channel. One happened back in August of 2024, and the other one happened on Monday. So we'll get to the first one that happened in 2024 first. So this happened all the way back in early August of 2024. It was on a stream that I did on a Friday evening. It wasn't a very long stream. It went on for almost an hour, but that stream has long since been deleted following the raid. So it was just the stream was just going normally. It was a StreamYard stream. I was just chatting with me and some other fellow YouTube friends. And at around the half hour mark of the stream, there were these people randomly just in the chat just asking all these random questions, and it's obvious they were just trolls asking me some very absurd questions that you could just tell from a mile away that these people were trolls. So I banned them, but somehow, I don't know how, they kept coming back with the same username, but it was clear that these were just troll bots and they were just trying to get on my nerves and stuff. And eventually it got so bad, there were a couple of my friends who are mods for the channel tried to ban them, but they kept joining, and I'm like, yeah, this is getting out of hand. So I had to end the stream because it was pissing me off, and I deleted the stream after that. So that was like the first time, at least for quite a while, that one of my streams would get raided, and this was on a StreamYard stream, if I haven't said already. So that was the first incident of having raiders drop in on my stream. And now we get into the next and last story of my experiences with raiders. And this was one that actually happened on Monday. So if you tuned in to my StreamYard stream that occurred on Monday, you probably remember it was the stream where I was reading out the winners of the Oscars that happened last weekend with me and 3 other YouTube friends of mine. And it was all going well. It was just a normal stream. But then when we got to the last 3 or 4 categories, or I think it was 5, I don't know, but there was like, we were at the last few categories. There were these random bots that were trolls just randomly spamming L in the chat and quote, justice for the guy with Tourette's, which I had no idea who they were talking about. But then I assumed they were talking about the Tourette's activist who got in trouble back in February for saying the N-word to Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo, who were the 2 actors in the film Sinners that were present at the BAFTA awards. Now, I don't condone racism in any way, because racism is wrong. We all know that. And of course, you got all these edge lords thinking that, oh, the M word is cool and all this other shit. Like, grow up. But you got to understand, the man at the BAFTA awards had Tourette's, and he can't help himself if he says something's like, he's got tics and stuff. That's all part of Tourette's. But I don't condone any racism of any kind, and I do understand the man is suffering from Tourette's, and I can't really imagine how difficult it must be living your day-to-day life with Tourette's, if you know what I'm saying. So that's what I'm obviously assuming what those trolls were referring to when they were spamming L in the chat. But thankfully, during that stream, when the trolls came in, me and my friends were just able to power through and just ignore them. But I kept banning the trolls. Me and this other friend who I gave the mod privileges to monitor the chat and just ban the trolls. So we just kept going and acted like nothing was happening, at least for the most part. So those are basically just the my stories of experiences with raiders on streams and on Discord. I guess I'll continue on with just giving you guys some advice for dealing with raiders, whether you're on Discord or on streams. So the obvious one is, if you're dealing with raiders on a StreamYard or any streaming platform or on Discord, one of the first things you should do is have some people you trust as moderators to monitor the chat or your server, and to ban or kick anybody for being obviously just spamming or just causing any trouble. And if you're operating a server, whether it be a private one or a public one, always have moderators to control your to kick or ban anybody that's causing any trouble. Especially be careful with sharing your links to your server if you have a private server. Otherwise, it can fall into the wrong hands, and your server would be in a world of shit. So always be careful with sharing the links and stuff, and always have a few moderators, like I do on my Discord server and on my streams on YouTube. which I do have a Discord server, but please don't ask me for it because it's a private server that's only for me and my fellow YouTube friends. Nobody else is allowed to join. So again, please don't ask for the link to my server because you're not going to join it unless I am familiar with you. So it's a private server. So yeah, I don't really have anything else for advice I can give other than to just have a lot of mods on either your streams or on your server on Discord, and always be careful who you add to your server and be careful with sharing the links and stuff. But most of all, do not feed the trolls. Like I said earlier, do not feed the trolls. It's not worth it, and it'll just give you more headaches to deal with. But if you just ignore the trolls, they'll just move on to somebody else. Simple as that. Well, I can't really think of anything else, so I guess I'm just going to wrap up the video right here. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like, comment below, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. And stay tuned for more videos coming out soon. I probably won't do a new rant video all the time, but I'll probably do a new one every once in a while, like I said in the last rant vlog that I did. And also comment below if you've had to deal with any raiders, whether it be on live streams or on a server on Discord or anything like that. I would like to hear your stories about it in the comments below. But once again, thanks for watching. Hope you all have a great day. And until next time, this is Kooky McGee signing off. Have a good one, guys, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace.